Bonjour, ladies and gentlemen. I am back with another commentary video that has odd objects as a microphone. So I decided to film this in a different environment. This is still nonetheless my room, but decided to film this in a different environment on my bed while eating a veggie burger, because today we will be talking about the rise and fall of the extreme vegans. Look what burgers show. Hola, soy Dora. Do you support animal testing? Muy bien. I've sat here too embarrassed to say my true identity, but I feel as if I need to apologize first and foremost. I am a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian for 6 years. And okay, back to the topic at hand. I'm a vegetarian for 6 years and I recycle. I live sustainably. I care about the earth. Oh, I don't eat honey. This introduction, however, is necessary because today I will be talking about vegans. And I have no problem with vegans, okay? I'm a vegetarian and we are very close within the community because I am just one step off from being a vegan, just stopping and cutting out eating dairy, such as cheese and ice cream. However, do not deny me of my Haagen-Dazs ice cream or my Ben & Jerry's fish food. Actually, I don't support Ben & Jerry's anymore. But please do not deny me of my Haagen-Dazs ice cream or my cheese on top of a great fettuccine Alfredo. With the rising popularity of That Vegan Teacher and Sexy Vegan from Dr. Phil, I wanted to show you that not all non-meat eaters are crazy, insane, and extreme. Okay, we all start somewhere, you know, and they really making us look bad. They making the whole community look bad, okay? And I will admit, as a vegetarian, I've had my fair share of experiences with meat eaters telling me that I will crack down at the smell of bacon, or vegans telling me that I am only halfway and that I need to go further into my vegetarian diet to become vegan. So I come here with literally no bias for either side because I've been dogged on by both. So, like the people that I had mentioned before, let's first start off with That Vegan Teacher. Let me introduce you. Katie Karen Diekmeyer, also known as That Vegan Teacher, only to my knowledge on the platform of YouTube, but was previously on TikTok, but was banned, is cited by Wikipedia as a Canadian animal rights activist who was grown popular on social media due to her extreme means of promoting veganism. She is 58 years old with 3 children. She previously worked as an ASL teacher and nurse, but quit the latter jobs at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's start off with the main problems of That Vegan Teacher. Wikipedia mentions that she had been classified as controversial due to her accusations of racism and homophobia. And I did further research to see that. In a video posted by That Vegan Teacher, specifically on March 2nd of 2021 on this great platform, YouTube, she compares saying the N-word to the cruelty of animals and continues to offend many other minorities by not understanding the banning of language, but also not understanding the banning of animal cruelty. And here's what I think. I also am not the biggest fan of animal cruelty. With the majority of my skincare items, I make sure to do research on them to make sure that they are not used or that they are not tested on animals. And I think I only have one product that I did not do my research on, but everybody slips up sometimes. But do you support animal cruelty? Not very many people do. However, I especially would not be comparing it to the respect or the respecting of minorities and other human rights. My problem comes into play is when you are completely disrespecting large groups of minorities for not saying certain words in replacement for the advocating of animal cruelty. The first thing that I learned when I was learning how to debate in high school was to not bring in topics that had nothing to do with the argument. The saying of the N-word or the F-word, and those are words that she specifically mentioned, she did not say the words themselves. However, doesn't make it very much better since she is arguing against the importance of those words. But I would not bring that into the argument of animal cruelty as somebody who actually is socially and emotionally intelligent. I am going to keep the same argument with animal cruelty or have something to do with other animals. I'm not going to bring in human rights or other minorities problems just to negate that for animal cruelty and the advocacy of animals. I personally would not be doing that. And I can imagine that many other people who are argumentative and people who do things such as law would not bring in an argument that has nothing to do with the topic itself. She easily could have used an argument similarly with animal cruelty, such as this quote that was supposedly said. This was cited on Wikipedia, but I wasn't able to find the connection between the two. But it says that she quotes, "Here's an idea for a new law. Before pet owners are allowed to eat cows, pigs, chickens, lambs, or fish, they should first have to kill and eat an animal." Dykemeyer's open letter recorded in Montreal Gazette in a 2004 issue. The specific name of the video was "Are You Racist?" So, especially with bringing in racism into animal cruelty, bringing in a topic that has nothing to do with the argument. The topic of animal cruelty and discrimination/racism should not be in the same sentence because those are two different social topics that are both very important. So you are able to get your point across by still sticking with animal cruelty, but in order to get riff and roar out of her audience, she decides to take and disrespect other minorities by completely negating the importance of not saying disrespectful slurs and words that have put down minorities for decades and centuries. Animals are important, but so are the lives of people that have to live to preach about the animals that are important. And this is real rich coming from a white woman. Also, real rich coming from a page that says, "Fighting racism, homophobia, and vegan phobia while trying to save the planet and the animals who live here." I am not saying she is racist, but I most definitely will be saying that she is disrespecting human rights in favor of animal cruelty. And I don't think that's how that works, unless specifically seen through this video. Or let's look at another example. She recently uploaded a video on November 12th of 2002, and it was answering questions in her car. One of the questions that was sent into her Instagram stating at 4:28, that's the timestamp, run from the vegan teacher. She is trying to make you vegan." That vegan teacher responded with, and I quote, "Do you say the same thing to people who are trying to teach each other not to be racist?" She continues to say a similar statement, but using homophobia as the topic of that sentence. She sit here and once again negates and disrespect other minorities for the favor of animal cruelty. And like I said, rich when it's coming from somebody who is supposed to be fighting against racism and homophobia. That was vegan phobia. I sneeze. Once again, I say that these social matters have nothing to do with each other. Homophobia, racism, and veganism have nothing to do with each other, but are still very important topics within our social standing right now. Coming from a Black woman, I cannot control the color of my skin, but I most definitely can control what I eat and what I choose not to eat and what I choose to wear. And that is where privilege comes into place. And this is where I think many vegans get caught up. It is a privilege to eat fresh fruits and vegetables all the time. Not everybody has the opportunity to be able to go to their local supermarket and get organic fresh fruits and veggies and legumes every 3 days when they rot because they expire way faster than non-organic fruits and vegetables. And I know. I am so grateful that I have the privilege to eat fresh fruits and vegetables and am able to afford it, especially with organic vegetables and fruits being double the price of those that are not. But I also understand the privilege of being able to get plant-based milks or being able to get meat alternatives and also having the privilege to cook them in an appropriate environment, such as having a stove to do so or being able to wash my veggies and fruits. And I will admit, in the beginning of my journey, I told many people that it is easy to be vegetarian. However, 6 years down the line, I noticed that it is a privilege that I have to choose what not to eat. Not everybody has that privilege, and I feel like that vegan teacher completely negates that, and so many other extreme vegans. I am grateful, and I'm going to continue to say gratitude and grateful and thankful because I am able to afford a $6.99 bottle of oat milk over a $3 gallon of milk. Not everybody's able to make that switch that quickly just because they choose to do so. Even I sit here financially like, why am I spending $6.99 on oat milk and I'm not even vegan? And with that, this is when I bring in this amazing quote from Brianna Weist's book, 100 essays that will change the way that you think. And I suggest reading it, it's great. On the topic of socially intelligent people, page 22 states, they do not speak in definitives about people, politics, or ideas. The fastest way to sound unintelligent is to say, this idea is wrong. That idea may be wrong for you, but it exists because it is right to someone else. But let's back up the train a little bit and let's go into some of the start of vegan and vegetarianism. And I bring up the history of veganism because I want to show that it actually started off as a community-based thing. Veganism actually started in a similar way that she is advocating. Though veganism was present in Buddhism and Hindu culture way before it was presumably documented, I specifically look at Pythagoras, the Greek mathematician dude that I had to do essay or project on in middle school. He was documented as being vegetarian in 500 BCE, but also, fun fact, he didn't eat beans because he thought beans were too similar to human flesh and thought that the inside of our bodies were beans. For him to be such a smart person, that was a really stupid idea, but I am socially intelligent and understand that not everybody's ideas are mine. One of the most beautiful things that I found was an article based off of a British woodmaker named Donald Watson with his wife Dorothy. They held meetings about veganism and vegetarianism and advocating for the ending of animal cruelty. A quote in this article states, and I will of course cite all of my sources down below, veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as is possible and practicable all forms of exploitation of and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose, and by extension, promotes the development and use of animal-free alternatives for the benefit of animals, humans, and the environment. In dietary terms, it denotes the practice of dispensing with all products derived wholly or partly from animals. And this was the definition of vegans that had conspired in 1988. And even when I learned a little bit more about animal advocacy within the 90s, I specifically learned some of it from Mina Leigh's video when she was talking about or delving into the fashion and the topic of Cruella de Vil and a lot of her animal print outfits that were seen in 101 Dalmatians. But even then, it was very interesting to me because I saw a community of people that advocated for animals. And I bring all of this up is because I saw Donald Watson and his wife Dorothy creating an environment that was great for other vegans to be comfortable within. And to see them advocating for animals, but at the same time being able to teach other people in a nice manner, to my knowledge, was something that I found beautiful. Something that I feel that lacks within modern day vegan and vegetarianism is community. And I feel like you will get nowhere if you're being an extreme vegan and completely denoting anybody else's journey of life. Continuing and finishing this video with this amazing lighting is that some of the things that I really missed about veganism and vegetarianism was the sense of community. But with so many extreme vegans coming into social media recently, and I will be talking about some other vegans in upcoming videos, but it's really destroying the sense of community because we as other vegetarians and vegans are getting a bunch of backlash for what this one person is doing. And her arguments aren't that good. So whoever does listen to her, I'm not going to negate you agreeing with her ideas. She has the right idea, animal advocacy, and trying to put restraint on animal cruelty. However, the means of doing so and majority of her arguments are considered invalid because they prove nothing at all. So for all of those who do intend to be vegan or vegetarian, I hope you have fun with your journey. I know that many vegans get really toxic when it comes to new baby vegetarians and baby vegans because they're still learning and still coming up on it. But some great people who are very open-minded, I will link their YouTube videos down below and some great food that you can try, even if you want to try like a meatless Monday or something like that. And also when it comes to sustainability, I can also leave some YouTubers that I watch that helped me on my sustainable journey. And with that being said, if you don't want to be vegetarian or vegan, that is also fine. I have some people that I watch on TikTok who are specifically Inuit, and they eat whale blubber, or the people that I watch, Shinanova on TikTok, I'll link her down below, eats beluga whale blubber and things like that, and beluga whale meat, and it just so satisfying, and especially with hearing that a lot of the meat within indigenous a lot of the meat eaten within indigenous lifestyles are sustainable, that adds a plus just for me, because that's what I care about. However, you don't have to eat sustainably. That's your idea, that's your matter, not mine. And another person that I enjoy watching eat whale blubber, I believe, is also Cadloon on TikTok. And none of these people know that I'm mentioning their names. So, but those are people who eat meat that I'm like, whoa, that looks great, you know? And so I don't plan on eating meat anytime soon, but still seeing how other people appreciate eating meat or appreciate not eating meat, I feel like a community could be made better, even if we have differing opinions on partaking in meat or not at all. But like I said, even if I were to cite Inuit culture or indigenous peoples cultures, not everybody has access to that, and not everybody has access to the vegan culture of eating of drinking soy milk, almond milk, oat milk, and things like that. Especially if we are talking about people within urban areas where there aren't that many supermarkets, and aren't that many supermarkets with fresh organic fruits and vegetables and all of these plant-based milks and all of these meat alternatives. You know, not everybody has that opportunity. So with that, I do understand why people still eat meat, and I do understand the privilege that I have. I feel like specifically as a white woman, she is not understanding, as a white vegan, she's not understanding the privilege that she has, especially when she's sitting here talking about racism, homophobia, and also vegan phobia. People I don't know who's scared of veganism, but I know that some people might not agree with it, but some people also don't even have the privilege of doing so. So once I feel like she most likely won't, but I feel like it would be a lot different if she did recognize her privilege for being a white vegan. So are the suggestions that I gave, such as watching people who are sustainable or watching other vegan people and having a meatless Monday, a little bit easier to handle rather than sitting here screaming at people and saying really disrespectful stuff? I know. It's the way she does it, and I don't have any particular vendetta against her because I don't know that woman, and I have no interest of getting to know her either. However, she's making the community look pretty bad, so this is when I had to step in. So from this video, I hope that you learned that not all non-meat eaters are weirdos, and that you can do whatever you want. And I hope that when you come to the idea of social intelligence, is that you understand that not everybody's idea is yours. So you can eat meat or don't. That's your business, not mine. I've been watching a bunch of P1 Harmony content, and Soul supposedly does the sound like psh, or psh, something like that with his group members. I think it's so funny and so cute. Psh. Anyways, back to the video. How did I find the best lighting on earth? You know, the best comes to those who wait. I accidentally pressed something on my camera, but I literally have like little to no charge left, so let's hurry up and finish this video. So